That's it right there, the 2000 Honda CRV. Thanks Dad for putting in many hours into helping me purchase this vehicle, so I would have been lost without it. We purchased it in Bangkok for around 120,000 Thai baht. It's just going to be a little bit over 3,000 US dollars. I'll leave the figure just here. Brand new wheels we had put on. I believe in the engine there's a new turn belt and a few bits and pieces for the actual coolant in there. I don't really know anything about cars, aside from changing the tyre and refilling the oil and coolant and water levels in the front. But it runs really, really well, and you might say, well, why would you purchase such an old car? Well, the actual kilometers on it are pretty low, and I'm just not really one of these people that wants to go ahead and spend 6 figures USD on a brand new car. I feel like for that money you could invest in land, you could buy a house, you could do a lot of different things. Then if we have a quick look on the inside, you can actually see here we've got a little LED Samsung screen. This was really cheap. I think it was around 1,000 baht, or maybe just a little bit over to put in, so that's around 30 US dollars. And actually the old device that was in here was just an old-fashioned device, not even a CD player, had a cassette player. So really just having this in here just makes it look a lot more modern. I have the Google Maps up on there, runs the Spotify, Netflix if you want to do that as well. In terms of everything else, a lot of really good components in the car. I probably can't run through them all, but it's in really good condition. The leather in the seats is nice and comfortable. Probably one of my best favorite features is how many actual drink holders it has. Okay, 2 in the front here. We've got 1 on the side there in the front. There's even, I think, a couple, look at that, in the back there. Pulls out, so 2 in the back. And then I think there's 1 each also just on the side door. Boot space in the back there, so plenty of room for luggage touring around Thailand, and plenty of room in the back. No baby seat there at the moment, but for the longer drives which we'll be taking, we'll be putting a baby seat in the back. It's got this little handle there if you want to go off-roading as well, and the overdrive mechanism here, so if you're picking up speed on the freeways and things like that, it's good. And yeah, honestly, it's just a really fantastic vehicle all around so far. Really enjoying it. Oh yeah, and there's the mileage there, 238,665 kilometers there, and only 1 owner apparently too. Also got the good old keyless entry here. Plays up a little bit sometimes, but 90% of the time it's okay. Still like to just kind of check and make sure that all locks up pretty well. And this little mirror here as well is actually really handy. At first I was kind of wondering what on earth is that for, but it's actually when you are reversing and you just want to check this gap here between where you're reversing and everything. Spare tire on the back there, that kind of does get a bit in the way sometimes, and you can actually see I've got to put a sticker over this hole here on the fiberglass because the previous owners backed into something and created that hole. Very easy to do, but as I showed you, we've got the LED screen on the inside, and that actually has a reverse camera as well. As for today, I am in Burriram. I've got our reusable coolant bag, guys. A lot of plastic bags in Thailand, so if you want to try and do the right thing, grab one of these. It's probably about less than 100 baht. Good quality coolant bag. Obviously, it's really hot in Thailand, so all your hot or cold goods you can keep in there, close it up, and just reuse that every time so you don't have to keep getting shopping bags. I'm filming off my iPhone X today, not the GoPro or my other usual camera for doing these vlogs, so apologies if the audio and the video quality is a little bit shoddy. Essentially what we're doing today is, it's just me. I'm on a solo mission just out to Burriram. It's around maybe 10 in the morning, and just going to do some shopping at Tops and Big C. There's just a few nice items that we like to use, a few ingredients that you can't really find in Lamphai Mart, which is where we live. Now I think I'm going to start the day off by going to Starbucks to grab a coffee. And the reason I go to Starbucks is not because it's Starbucks so much, but just because they actually usually have oat milk, whereas the usual Amazon coffee, which you see on the highways around 7 and all that, they don't have any nut milk, which is a bit of a shame. So hopefully they got some oat milk in here. So สวัสดีครับพงคอนมอคากับนมโอ๊ตได้ไหมครับแก้วใหญ่
เป็นร้อนเย็นปั่น
ขอร้อนครับร้อนขอบคุณครับนิดหน่อยครับครับครับ
เป็นเทคเอาไว้หรือตอนเนี้ย
ที่นี่ครับที่นี่ครับครับครับ Don't usually have cream on the coffee, so if you're judging me, then that's totally fair enough because it's not good for you. But coming out here to Burriram doesn't happen too often, maybe a little bit more now with the car, a bit more accessibility. Now, while I'm sitting here anyway, I thought I would just take a moment to fill you guys in, I guess, on the absence on the channel. We obviously haven't been posting too much, you know, we're doing a lot of market reviews, traveling around Bangkok and all over Thailand, really. So really the simple answer is because I just haven't had the time really to edit. The process of sometimes planning, editing, taking the camera and all of the kit out to do these productions is fun, but it is time consuming, particularly the editing side of things. It can sometimes take a few hours out of the week to edit just one video because I really do like to try and put a bit of effort into the videos, choose the music, all that kind of thing. So really I'm trying to get back into that now. Had a bit more time free up and going to try to aim to post once a month. We've had a lot of exciting things going on since we've been away. We're looking like we're going to be purchasing some land in Koh Phangan. Sorry, for any Thai listeners watching, I can never pronounce that correctly. And possibly also looking at sealing the deal on some land right here in Burriram to build a little home on. Just a little plot of land not too far from Chang Arena, where we might stay sometimes too. So I'm thinking of taking a bit of a turn and covering more content about that. You know, cost of living in Thailand, how much to build a house, how to build a house. I don't have a great deal of experience in, you know, building a house that actually is my own from scratch, let alone here in Thailand. So kind of figured it would be kind of an exciting venture to share with you guys essentially the pros, the cons, everything, and just really showing you exactly how it looks from start to finish. Now Robinson's is nothing particularly special. It's got your standard stuff that any shopping mall would have, food, shopping, all kinds of things. Now we'll head over to Tops now and pick up a list of ingredients that Karina's written down for me to pick up. You can definitely still spend a lot of money shopping in Thailand. I think I'm going to be broke after this shop. There is, however, a lot of good produce in here, good fresh fruit and veg. A lot of the stuff is also imported as well from Australia or another country. So if you're getting a bit homesick, then you can easily come here and grab some stuff, but it does come at a premium. So yeah, be prepared to take a bit of a hit on the card, but it's good to sometimes splurge a little bit on your health and just some things that you enjoy. Not always good just to go cheap. The best thing to really do, in my opinion, is to look for value for money and think about the overall investment. The total bill came to 5,147 for all of that. These are 2 for 1. Really good, like muesli stuff here. Got some sugar-free biscuits right here. It's a good brand. Felt like a bit of nice pasta, so I've got a sugar-free passata to go with this pasta. That's the passata there. All this stuff isn't cheap because it's not Thai food. You know, a lot of it's imported. These olives, green and black olives. But you know, when you're coming to Thailand is different from having to actually live in Thailand. You actually live in Thailand, you kind of sometimes want to break from the Thai food, which I think is normal, you know. There's all the frozen goods here. Again guys, best investment, get yourself a good quality cooler bag, less than 100 baht. Seriously a good investment. All that there, 150 US dollars, give or take. Now I'm not sure what it is about Thailand, but overall the general service industry is far more efficient than that of the UK and Australia. I'm not sure if it's because Thai people generally value the fact that they've actually got a job more. I know from personal experience in UK and Australia, a lot of people that I've known actually take their work for granted. They're actually quite slack at their workplace. But here in Thailand, the general consensus from what I can see, 90% plus in all of these kinds of shops, you know, in any shop, retail, hospitality, the service is off the chart, and over 90% of the time they tend to over deliver and actually overdo it. They're kind of in your face, following you around. So yeah, there's definitely a big difference there. Often what we'll do is we'll come to these shopping centers in Thailand, mainly because the aircon is so good, particularly here in Isan. If you thought Thailand was hot, well yeah, duh, it is. But in Isan, it always tends to be just a few degrees warmer. And you're not typically by the sea ever in Isan, you know, you've got to travel a little bit further out to do that. So you're not really getting that sea breeze at all. So it does tend to feel like quite a bit of an oven. So when you come into a place like this, often we'll walk around, just have a look at the shops, not really purchasing much unless it's food, and just kind of, yeah, enjoy that nice air conditioning. Just bought this sticker to put on the little hole that I was showing you at the start of the video on my tyre cover, the cover plate at the back. ส้ม1 ขวดครับเป็นถูกไหมครับไม่เอาครับ Not really in the mood for Thai food today, not really feeling the spice, so I thought I'd just go for a no sugar, 100% orange juice, 25 baht. Pretty good value for money. You'd probably pay about 3-4 times the price for that in the UK or Oz. Even just walking through here, I've actually seen a few adverts for some massive high-rise kind of expansion buildings, some residents, which I'm sure is going to be directed more towards sort of the higher earning bracket of Thai people and foreigners too, coming in from all parts of the world. Let me know in the comment section of this video if you've visited Burriram, if you're aware of it, if it's a destination that you may consider coming to at some point in the future. I'm going to hop back in the car now, enjoy this orange juice, and just sit in my thoughts for a bit. And there we go, that's the patch job all sorted out. One thing you'll notice is that they promote these as orange juice, and even if they are 100% natural, a lot of them are very, very sweet. You might think that they actually add sugar, but a lot of them actually don't. But it's good to ask them. If you want to ask whether a juice or something has got sugar, you can say, "Ani mi namtaan la pao kap." So it's not the best way of saying, but it is a way of saying, does this have sugar inside or not? And then they might say mi cup, which means that it does have it inside. Or they might say mai mi cup, which means it doesn't have it inside. So hopefully that helps, because yeah, you know, it's pretty hard to avoid sugar as it is, so it's always good to make an effort when here in Thailand. And another really good tip is that anything food and drink related, in your car, in your home, anywhere, if you're going to leave something out for any prolonged period exceeding maybe 10 minutes or more, there's a good likelihood you're going to get ants, insects, mice, cockroaches, all sorts. So it's not really like that in the West. In the West, you can kind of leave stuff out on the countertops for the day, and more than likely you're probably not going to have any issue. Try do that here in Thailand, definitely in Isan. You leave it for 5 minutes at our place, it's going to be swarmed with ants, and it's just going to attract rodents and all these horrible things. So the best thing to do, the moment you're finished with food or drink, just get it out of the car, get it out of your home, put it in the bin, clean it out, because seriously, it's just not worth the potential hazardous infestation you're gonna have to deal with. So I'm about to hit the road now, back home to Lampai Mart, and I think I'll just leave you with a bit of info on the car again, just regarding insurance and also purchasing a car. If you're going to go ahead and purchase a second-hand car, it is quite difficult to do here in Thailand. It's very different to the West. It's very different to Australia and the UK. Now, you can get scammed anywhere in any industry, but particularly here in Thailand, there are a lot of car scams online, Facebook, wherever. So my opinion would be to go through a word of mouth, guys. You got to find someone that you know. So if there's anyone that's interested in purchasing a second-hand car, possibly even new cars, essentially my dad had a connection in Bangkok, which was very, very lucky. So we kind of knew that we weren't going to get scammed with this car, because had we have tried to do it any other way, really, it would have been, I think, quite challenging. So I'm going to leave all of the details. It's a lovely lady, Thai lady named Pat. I'm going to leave the details in the description of this video should you feel like you want to purchase a car from Thailand in Bangkok. I would highly recommend it. It's not an area where you want to take shortcuts, guys. There are seriously so many cars, secondhand cars, for sale online in Thailand that you just look at and go, wow, that looks pretty authentic and it's really, really cheap. But often what they'll do is they'll ask for a large lump sum payment in advance, like a deposit, and then, you know, claim they'll give you a location to come pick it up, but they're never gonna sell you the car. The car was never for sale. It's just a straight up scam, guys. So look, the way I go through life when it comes to these kinds of things, yeah, anything like this, assume that it's a scam. Assume that it's a scam until you're better off. You're better off assuming it's a scam until proven otherwise.